Hello everyone, welcome to Break a Bolt. On today's episode we're going to change the center support bearing on E46 M3 Driveshaft. So, let's get going. So these are M346 Driveshaft. If you guys want to know how to take this off the car, I'll throw a link somewhere in here to a video where I'm taking the driveshaft off. Once you take it off, this driveshaft comes balanced from the factory itself. You do not want to mess with the orientation unless you're going to get it rebalanced. One of the easiest way to make sure that it doesn't go off balance is to mark the position of the driveshaft on both sides of the bearing. I don't know if you can see it. I used a darker marker to mark the line on both sides so I know where it is separated when I take it off. When I say the bearing goes bad, so this is like this bearing is not, how do you say, balanced, I guess. It's wobbly and you could actually move it around. The bearing is supported by the rubber inside, and over time the rubber just fades out and you're gonna have to replace this. If not, you're gonna have vibration on your drive line. And this is a new bearing I got. If you notice, on one end it has a longer, I guess, a rubber end. The extended rubber part usually goes towards the transmission side, so make sure whenever you put it back on, you put it in a way where the rubber is sitting towards the transmission. If you mark the line already on your drive shaft, you can take it off. It's only one 18mm bolt in here, and just gonna turn it to the side so I can, there you go. So I'm gonna use a pretty beefy flathead under the ratchet, I don't know if you can see it, and then crack it to the counterclockwise. I can put some weight in here. Okay. It's a bit time consuming to take this apart, but yeah, just patience and you'll be able to take it apart. Okay, now I can take it off with my hand. It's a bit tight. It's almost out. Okay. The splines in here looks pretty clean. There's no rust whatsoever, so that's good. Don't forget there's a washer in here, so I'm going to take that washer out. Now you can actually see the bearing is collapsed, like the rubber around here is already deteriorated and it's coming into pieces. So let's take this bearing off. So I'm gonna use a pulley puller, even though I know it's probably gonna break the outer rubber piece, but you know, I'm not gonna use it, so let's see. Wasn't that hard? So yeah. If you have a pulley puller, you can use one. If not, you could actually use like a flathead on this edge and push it out. I would recommend just using a pulley puller since it's easier. There you go. There's the old bearing. I mean, it's decent, but I don't know if you can see it. It's cracked all around, and if I had put this on, I would probably have to take this off in a few thousand miles. So the splines look okay. There's no damages whatsoever on those. Now we got to push this in. Just gonna use a little bit of grease to make it easier. I'm gonna use a 32mm socket to push it out. It actually fits right over the bearing. And if you want to be extra careful, you could put this washer on and then use the socket to push it in. Just a little bit on the outside edge, because once you start pushing in, the grease is gonna go just so the pressure from the drive shaft is gonna push the grease in. So just a little bit of grease on the outside edge, and maybe just a little bit, not on the spline. I mean, I guess you could put some grease on the spline, but I'm just gonna put where the bearing's gonna sit. There's not much scoring, it's just wear and tear, so it should be okay. If not, you could just sand it a little bit. And okay, it seems it looks pretty centered. And I'm gonna get a hammer. So if you see the bearing is centered, it's not fully seated, but it's centered, so it won't go in sideways. And then I'm gonna put the washer on, and then use the 32mm socket. Maybe more in. A couple of more tabs just to make sure, but it's fully seated. So the bearing is fully seated. Now I'm gonna find the line I made and make sure it's centered. And let's go here. Where is it? So right there. It is centered, and make sure the wash is in here. That's good. Maybe just put some little bit of grease in here just in case. I'm gonna thin the bolt a little bit and throw in some red Loctite just in case. I'm gonna slide the bolt back in. It's a bit of a struggle. I'm getting Loctite everywhere, but yeah, should be fine. Okay, so there's my center line. It's right here, and there's the center line on this side. There it is. Okay. Yeah, sliding, smooth as butter. So to put the bolt on initially, you don't want to fully push in the drive shaft because you're not going to have enough room. So I just put halfway through, and I'm going to tighten the bolt at this point with my fingers. It helps to have tiny fingers. Have you ever had like times where you know you did it but you're not sure whether you did it? So I'm just double, triple checking just in case. I'll just keep turning it clockwise for another maybe 10-15 minutes. I mean, it's not a long bolt, but it's just, you know, you're doing like quarter turn every time. So kind of a pain. Gonna do it. Yeah. That's pretty solid. Alright, that's our center support bearing done. Let's see. That's our, and it actually turns perfectly fine. Alright, so we replaced the center support bearing. Gosh, wow, that's a mouthful. Center support bearing. Anyhow, if you want to do this job, go check out one of the links over here. So I'll put it in where I'm taking the complete underside of the car and drive shaft off. It's a pretty simple job to just change this. What takes time is taking the whole underside of the car. That's about it. If you have any questions whatsoever, like, comment, and you know, the good stuff. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. That helps out. And other than that, that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. Keep breaking bolts.